Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So after some hassle with GTV, we are in, and Maku is going to be our GTV cameraman, for which I am very grateful. And let's transition into the game. As you can see, we're just waiting for the Australians to ready up. And yeah, the GTV issues were that the Portuguese, who are also going to shoutcast it, which is fine and great, but they should be watching it live. Oh, wait a second, let me put my microphone in front of my face. That might make it sound a little bit better, because you never know what kind of information they might be passing on. Not that I really suspect that they would, but it's just something that you don't want to have hanging over the match. Also, I want to thank both of these teams ahead of time for being such good sports, allowing me to join their respective Discord and TeamSpeak servers, so we can listen in live while the Darawang guys are are saying that how they are going to obliterate the Portuguese. As you can see, we're still not ready, so that gives me some time to quickly introduce the match a little bit further. We're going to start off on Abbey CTF, a logical choice from the Portuguese, since, well, to be honest, as long as you're not a European country, you can pretty much guess that your European opponent will choose CTF. And it's been standing the European countries in good stead for that case. On the other side, on the other map, we're going to have Austria Team Survivor. Another logical choice. If you've been watching the Australia matches, well, you know that Team Survivor and especially Austria has been their cup of tea. Or should I say their Vegemite? Speaking of Vegemite, you guys were allowed to vote which in an original form, saying, do you think that Bacalhau or Vegemite will win the match? And most of you, but only by a narrow margin, most of you went for Bacalhau, also known as the national dish of the Portuguese. That's time skill 10,000 would be fantastic, Ryan. Unfortunately, that's not a luxury that we have at the moment. I'm also trying to reconnect the correct GTV, and there we go, we're in. Since we're just waiting for the Portuguese to ready up, I might as well show you this little nugget. Let's see, will it show? Yes, it will indeed. And as you can see, this is the last quarterfinal match. It should have actually been played 6 days ago, according to the original planning. But nevertheless, it's going to be played, and that's all that really matters in my book. That also means that the upcoming match tomorrow will be involving Belgium and USA at 9 o'clock. So that's my public service announcements out of the way. Well, there's only one more, and that's to thank all of the subscribers for being available, for donating their money. We've been able to increase the prize money. I had it there for a second. For the winner of this Nations Cup to 125 euros. So that's 25 euros per person if your team consists out of 5 people. Anyway, whatever the case, we're 30 minutes into the game, and let's see what Portugal can do here on their home map. Aerox starts off nicely, and together with Snow, he will finish off the 2 aggressors. And let's see how Aerox can time his nades. Well, actually, he chooses to camp and surprises the 2 attackers, or well, 3 attackers, I should say, but Shans gets him down. But 1 minute down, still no... Cam on DB asking on which server is this being played. It's a North American server, so that both of these countries are pinging high. As you can see, approximately 200 ping, and well, obviously it's not as stable as that, since GTV kind of also messes up the... There we go. So Aerox still alive here, trying to hold the fort, while the Australians are trying to put up some pressure, which is good to see, to be honest. Red side is, well, similar to Algiers, vastly easier. and it's Memschlager, also known as Wicked, who will run this flag, but very slowly at that. I think that Dabidu, Davo, and Nepti should just be holding the fort, stopping a counter, or well, not a counter rush, but stopping the another potential cap coming their way. But to be honest, this is very good for the Australians. If they can keep the margin within 5, I would say that they can be very satisfied. I would say even that means that their skill level is approximately the same on this map. Nevertheless, I don't really expect that they will succeed in that, as the Portuguese chose this map with a reason. And well, they are the disputed Nations Cup champion. France won the last Nations Cup, but that's only because Portugal didn't show up, and Portugal won the Nations Cup before that. So it's going to be a great semi-final if the Portuguese do manage to win this. Nicely done here from Shan's going to focus on the return. Oh my god, that's so slow. And the pre-shoot from Riri cannot stop the return. Yes, indeed. It's. I've also got the message, by the way, from all the Australians in Darawang that they have their beers out and are watching this live in the pub. Obviously, that's quite logical. I hope that all of you have your Saturday afternoon or morning beers out. And if you're in Australia, then it's your evening beers. Let's enjoy this game even further here while Dabidu keeps the pressure on. And we'll have to try and stop Riri, who with 12% runs it through central room, is looking for a teammate to take over the flag, but does not find it. And with 12% is going to bring this slowest cap, it seems. And nicely done there by Riri, and very well done, in fact, by the rest of his team to keep the pressure off of him. But 2-0, still within the margin that the Australians will think is okay. The question is, how far will Shans get with 12% and the whole of Team Portugal rushing in? Now they have to hold the fort here. The remaining player here, Howler, and he's been taken out. Snow now with 100% but very little stamina is going to wait here for the double jump. 1, 2 and 3. There we go, 3-0. Now we see that the Australian defense can't cope with the continuous pressure here from the Portuguese. I'd like to see the Australians push a little bit more, or just hold the line. That would also be good, but it seems like they're a little bit... Well, they're having difficulty here coping with the Portuguese push. ADX here with 50% opting for the long route, whereas I think that that's a wrong choice, to be honest. Don't know what's happening on the other side of the map, obviously, but I think that this cap could have been a lot faster. 5-0 now, and it's starting to come hot and fast for the Portuguese. Ah, lovely. Saturday night ciders. That's even better. Wish the pubs were open. That's my usual place that I get my ciders. My cider inside me. And with a couple of seconds to spare here, Aerox is going to bring another one home. So the Australians are really being taken apart here by the Portuguese. It was a slow start, but now the Portuguese really showing us why they chose this map. Really can't place what is going wrong on the Australian side, because we're watching the Portuguese most of the time, which is great. So we have a timeout. Shan's disconnecting, so we're going to have a super sub in, or actually we already have the super sub in. It's Hippers. I wonder what, or is Shan's just going to reconnect? Shan's arguably the best player on the Australian side. So if he was having difficulty there, then that might be the key to the Portuguese domination these last, well, what is it? In 3 minutes, they tripled their score off of the first 2 minutes. In fact, they did a lot more than that. Anyway, que sera, whatever will be, because I wonder if Shans is going to go for a quick restart here. Ah, there we see Fallen enters the game. So let's see what Fallen will do. I guess that Shans is now going to quickly join a public server to get his aim going again, so that he's ready for Austria Team Survivor. But what really happened there was, well, after, I think the first time that the Portuguese got 2 caps in a row, it all fell apart. So from 4-0, it quickly became 8-0. What's that? Where's Saz? Well, I have to say that it's been some time since the Australians were incredibly successful. We're now in Nations Cup number 22. But in Nations Cup number 17, they faced off in the grand final versus France. Obviously, well, we all know what happened there. But that was the big hurrah from the Australian side. And ever since, I've been a big fan of them, I should say. But it's it's looking like we won't have a rematch versus France. Well, wait a second, 7. I'm calling this a little bit too early. Obviously, they still have their own map, and we could go to a third and decider. But there we go. So they're going to ready up. And of course, the last time that we had the Portuguese in the Nations Cup final, that was when they won. And that was 2 years ago. 1.5, I should say. Since this is the first time in a long time that we're having 2 Nations Cup. Well, yeah, 2 Nations Cups in a year. But it used to be Dara Wang Dao. Good one, Delirium. I guess that there's also not a lot of love lost between New Zealand and Australia. I mean, most of the close neighbors are ripping into each other. ADX here gets the helmet shot off on Howler, and Fallen falls short, and it's 10-0 here. For those wondering about the health of Urban Terror, it's been very good if you're returning now and watching. In fact, we have Bomb, Team Survivor and CTF Cups again, which is really cool. I won't be shoutcasting much of that, but I'm hoping that other people will step up to shoutcast, and to be honest, you're more than welcome to also shoutcast if you meet the requirements to shoutcast here on this channel, get some views in. The real reason is that we just want to keep advertising this game that we all love. And here we see the 12th cap incoming. Any of you guys excited for the Unreal Engine number 5? I saw that video, and damn, that was impressive. Especially knowing that Urban Terror 5 is being developed for the Unreal 4 engine, but that it will be an easy port. really makes me very excited. Snow here. Trying to take out Howler. Howler who will stop the cap, in fact. Nicely done there. 1 minute remaining here. The question is, will the Portuguese get 15 caps or maybe even more? But one thing's for sure, that means that the next 10 minutes will be pretty much hopeless for the Aussies. Where did it all go wrong? They might be questioning themselves. Well, in fact, let's have a listen. Maybe they know where it went wrong. I'm in there somewhere.
Only 15 flags. It's easy.
Massive in favour.
And after come on, mate. Time to stand up.
Where do we go?
You just fucking defend, dude. Defend and cap at the same time.
One on flag.
Only 15 caps, that's all that's required. Anyway, GG, and very well played here from the Portuguese, showing their dominance, and well, they don't want to leave this up to a surprise win for the Australians, and with 15 caps, it's likely that the Australians won't even win the easier side, even if it would be just by 1 cap or thereabouts. Anyway, quick shout out to Maku, who is our resident GTV cameraman, together with Biddle and Delirium now and then as well. We've been blessed that well, they enable me to not have to focus on clicking around, and even allow me to well, now and then, although I have to admit I kind of forgot about it, join the voice servers of both of these nations. So it doesn't seem that they will ready up fast, so I'm going to take a quick sip of water, and we'll be back within a minute, I suspect. Well, that was a very short break. Here we go with the second half of Abbey CTF, the choice, of course, of Portugal, otherwise only 16 flags indeed. That obviously is a reference to the 15-0 that Australia got their asses handed to them on the first half. And now let's see what the Aussies can do here. At least they're touching the flag, which is a good start. And no, it's not 1-0 already to the Australians, that's just GTV. Oh great. People in my neighborhood deciding to honk their horns. I don't know if you could hear that, but anyway, let's focus on the game again. Central room is the real key to victory here, and as you can see, as long when ADX can already come sliding in from central room, then you know the Australians are in dire straits. And well, with Davo dying, or Davo I should say, in comes the first cap for the Portuguese, maybe even a second cap. Communication there on the Portuguese side, getting the team kill in so that he can wave respawn. Oh, sneaky peeky ADX here. Oh, very nicely done, but with 8%, Riri is going to pick it over, because with 8%, no! No! With 8% he would never have gotten there, but nice teamwork there from the Portuguese. Aerox blocking Riri. But it's still 3-0. So the aggregate score now 18-0. I know you guys were mentioning I like a nice close map. Yeah, not this time around, but something tells me that Austria Team Survivor will be a lot closer. The real question is, will we get a third and decider, or will it be an easy 2-0 victory here for the Portuguese? I would love to give you guys as much content as possible. Then again, only if it's close. Ooh, nice nades there. Both Australian players damaged greatly by those nades, and an easy push here from the Portuguese towards the red flag. Only Fallen remaining, and he does stand his ground, but it's Aerox here with 50%, gets past the corner, and that's the real, wow, nice movement there. The real important part. And gets a kill back to back. Always annoying when your gun doesn't show. Dabby Doo here, going to make the first cap from the Australians. 1 second. No! Well, actually, what's happening? Come on! Return the flag, but where's the blue flag? Oh, that's so unfortunate. I mean, we all know that an Australian cap is worth 20 points, so then we would have a match on our hands. Oh, that's so unfortunate. ADX getting a little bit frustrated, might be also due to ping and that sort of issues affecting his movement. Speaking of frustration, let's listen into the Portuguese side, because there probably isn't much.
Tá, bandeira agora, flag, nossa flag. Aí.
Aí toda.
Tá central.
Dois Lulu no centro, no flag deles. O da Lulu. Mais um. Mais um no flag deles. Alô. Alô? A bandeira está em baixo, a bandeira. Foda-se.
Túnel, o último tá túnel. Eu vou capar.
So that gives you a little bit of an insight of how not hectic it is in their team speak. Often in CTF you can hear a lot more comms going around compared to Team Survivor, which is, well, obviously the sound is very important of the enemies, and in CTF, well, it's more of a kill fest and a flag fest. But at the moment, it's well, all one-way traffic in favor of the Portuguese. A friend of the stream has just joined the channel. Welcome, Bavon. I was watching you play a little bit of what's it called? Doom. Very entertaining streamer, guys. So give him a follow. He also created the video. Well, maybe we'll play it in halftime. The NationsCup team song, which actually really needs a new version, preferably a version that's not not linked to a year, so we can use it every year. Pretty please, Bavon? No, I'm just kidding. You're probably very busy with all of your own content. Anyway, back to the game here. With 3 minutes remaining on the clock, we can expect Portugal to get into double figures again on this half. and really showing their skill off here in CTF, and I'm sure that many other nations who might face Portugal, France, will might even choose a different game type after seeing how one-sided this can get. In the meantime though, great job here from Davo, who actually gets the first cap in. That still means that the aggregate score, if one cap is worth 20 for the Aussies, that they still need one more cap. That's the double figures for the Portuguese. The moment you start running flags through Central, you know that you're in dire straits. And Aerox with the double kill there could continue shooting, and now it's going to go fast and furious here for the Portuguese. Yeah, this is, it's also hard to shoutcast, to be honest, since it's so one-sided. But, well, you can see the brilliance of the Portuguese here being shown off. Questions being asked when the USA match will be. Don't worry, simply type !next in Twitch chat, and you will see the upcoming shoutcast. We're trying to get those commands to work. This Portuguese team is a disgrace. Well, I think many would disagree. Very well played there by the Portuguese. It'll take some time for Austria to ready up, so time to crack open a cold one if you if you so choose, and let's enjoy some music, or maybe even let's see if I can get Bavon's video going. Okay, be right back. So I'm going to risk it. No, never mind. I'm not going to risk playing playing the Nations Cup team song since the match has just readied up. The Portuguese were very fast at readying up, so I think that they have a tactic here on Austria Team Survivor. We see Davo and Fallen back in their regular sub positions. And let's add some audio here and see how the Australians are going to answer that ass whooping that they got. Something like 20 plus versus 1 cap on Abby. Opening kills in favor of Australia, and a bit of a trade going on over at the wall. In comes Dabidu to finish it off, and Inepti on the other side of the map, securing their first round here. Nicely done. Obviously, Austria, the pick of Australia. Already mentioned that, I think. Yes, I did. And this is not going in the favor of Portugal once more. Shan's going incredibly strong here. I don't know how many caps, how many kills he already made, but showing some conviction here. Doesn't want to leave it up to chance, and Shans will get that last kill in. 6 kills in 2 rounds. That's not too bad. Thanks very much, Logic, for moderating the Twitch chat. Shan's here with his trusty G36. Nevertheless, Snow does get the shot off on him. Now, will there be some medical attention? No, in fact, we're going to have a big push here from the Portuguese. Memschlange, well, a little bit too late to the party, but a flawless victory nonetheless. Nicely done there by the Portuguese, showing that they at least have something to say here in this Battle of Wales. Howler here creeping around the decking and now at the wall, but jumps into the nade of Aerox, and that's not the way they want to start. And Aerox here, this is the second time that he's harassing the people over at Tunnel, and now it's all on Shan's shoulders here. He's been spotted. Riri gets the first bit of damage in, but it's Aerox who will finish him off. So all square, back to 2-2. A push here from the Portuguese. No. A slow push from Memschlange, who encounters somebody with an SR8. At least it seemed like an SR8. Gets the kill off. On the other side, it hasn't been going too well for Portugal. Aerox last one standing, and he's surrounded by Shans and Howler. Nicely done, at least getting another round in. So just Hippers waiting to get off of 0. Good aggressive push here from Shans, but will encounter the rest of Team Portugal, but they weren't ready for him. Shans here opening the scoring and completely obliterating the Portuguese form of defense. And back to a lead of 2. They'll want to keep it this time around. But again, the opening frags going in favor of Portugal. Inepti here in dire straits. Dabidu will transition to try and medic him back. Riri and ADX here still alive and with the med kit. Means that Inepti has a tough task here. Only 1 shot required. But the good news is that Hippers is off of the 0. And the aggressive push here through tunnel from the Portuguese. Catches Shans and his mates unawares. Now it's only Shans remaining. He has decent health, but a weapon that usually also causes you to be hit a couple of times while killing opponents. And Snow there with the double tap on the helmet of Shans. No questions asked here, and it's all square again, 4-4. Again, nades raining in on Courtyard, and Aerox, together with the rest of his teammates, are pushing here through tunnel. Catching the Australians at unawares again, and this will be the first time that the Portuguese will be in the lead, and Howler unfortunately has to reload. And again, Shan's the only one remaining, again against 3 of the Portuguese. And not the least, Aerox, ADX, and Memschlange, also known as Wicked. Now, do the Australians have the mental fortitude to come back again? Aerox timing his retreat expertly. And does not manage to connect Inepti, the only Australian dead. Now Howler also falling, and Aerox is timing to take wall perfect. The Australians had a couple of kills advantage, but it's going away like snow for the sun. I think that might be a Dutchism. In comes snow. Wow. I didn't really spot how the other Portuguese died there. Was too focused on what Snow was doing, but it's all square again. So you guys wanted a close map? Well, here is the close map. Let's hope that it falls in favor of the Portuguese, so that we can go to a third and decider. Oh no! Aerox's nade finds the head of Snow. Bit poor communication there. Let's listen into the Portuguese.
Aerox, tu. Bora aí tudo, bora chuchar tudo.
Túnel, bora.
Bora, entra. Estão todos no meio do nosso spawn. Do lado do wall, estão todos no wall.
Spawn, acho eu. Spawn, último spawn, ajudem.
50, 30. Bora lá.
Easy round there for the Portuguese, even though it looked like it would have gone to the Australians at the start. Ah, there we see Hippers and taking ADX at unawares. Hippers now playing with an SR8. A good moment to transition, and again we're back at all square, 6-all. Let's hope that the Australians can now mount a little bit of a lead. In fact, let's listen into them.
Wall. Third wall, okay.
One mid. One just outside, yep.
Oh,
fuck. I think we've called off if someone gets across. Yeah, fair enough.
Time, rush.
One some wall.
One deck.
2-1 wall. I've gone mid. Oh, he's watched it. Oh no, wait, was it you?
Pushing into the small behind you,
That's like mid 50. You can't move.
Jacking. Is he matting the
They've got kids.
We could hear the disappointed, oh, they got kit, knowing that this would be a round for the Portuguese. So now the first time in the match that the gap is 2, but this time in favor of Portugal. And now the same that happened in Abbey seems to be happening now here on Austria. Once more in the favor of Portugal. The Australians give away their lead, and well, after a little bit of a stalemate going 2-all, 3-all, 4-all, 5-all, etc. Now it's the Portuguese who are starting to really get a lead in. Oh, a timeout being called by the Portuguese. Maybe a decision on how... so there we see Hippers getting the frag in. So maybe we're going to see the Portuguese play a little bit more conservatively. I can't imagine, to be honest, why change a winning team, or why change your tactics right now? Maybe we're going to have a sub, but I have the sneaking suspicion that this is a tactical timeout, now that they are in the lead. Then again, you usually don't want a tactical timeout when it's going your way, since that might disrupt your flow. So let's see if the Australians will be able to mount a bit of a comeback here. An aggressive push here from Hippers with the S8 and Glock. Now moving in with the P90. Great aggressive push here from the Australians, catching 2 Portuguese unawares and another round in for the Aussies. Approaching halfway here on the clock, and that's well, a good time to come back here. Still plenty of time to also play with, obviously. Nice nade from Shans. Here's the from the Portuguese player. Oh, perfect nade! Doesn't get the kill. How did the Portuguese player escape that nade? Dabidoo here in dire straits will be finished off by Wicked, or no, it's going to be ADX. So, difference back to 2, and a push here from the Portuguese. No Australians there to spot it. And if they did, it was very late. Anticipating a counter rush from the bottom of tunnel. Oh, again, the nades not landing fairly and squarely from the Portuguese. Nevertheless, it's only Shans remaining with 23%, and it's 3-0. Well, 3. A gap of 3 again, sorry. Oh man, exciting stuff here. Hopefully it will get even more exciting though. Uh-oh. Oh wow. I don't know what... even my OBS thought it was a little bit too exciting. Nice. Thankfully Howler keeps the Aussies within contention. Some nice nades here from Inepti, but doesn't find any feet of the Portuguese. Snow there gets 1 for the price, 2 for the price of 1, I should say. And yeah, curtains here for the Aussies on this 21st round. Once more, there's plenty of time to play with, but you'd really like to see the Australians now mount a bit of a comeback, and I'm sure that they're trying their utmost. Riri spots Inepti. He's down to 13%. Unfortunately, Riri will get the med, it seems. A trade there, so it's 2 versus 2, and Snow down to 13%, but Riri is still very low, so they didn't actually med up, and Dabidoo comes in to finish off the last 20%ers there. Nicely done from the Aussies. Let's, but a little bit of a hectic round again, and that doesn't really give me the idea that they have a grasp on this map. Inepti's nade finds Riri again. Speaking of trades, ADX last one standing, and Shans isn't even required. Nicely done, Inepti. Let's listen into the Aussies.
Sorry. Wall closed. Coming in the tunnel.
Fuck, still play. Fuck, he's just in the middle.
Top tunnel,
3
last.
wall.
I'm low. They're gonna push wall.
100 mid.
Still mid, I'm 80.
50 mid.
Oh, Riri.
Indeed, Riri. Riri going big there and securing their 13th round and keeping the lead respectable, at least within 2. But once more. It's more of an exchange now after that the PTs got the lead. Wicked getting a little bit frustrated, but nevertheless they traded. 4 versus 4. And Snow in dire need of some medical attention, and the medical attention is happening all the way at the top of tunnel. Now, where are the Aussies? Okay, we can see that Aerox is the only one that was holding wall there. Oh, Howler down to 50. From your left, Chance, from your left. Oh, gets... Yeah, gets spotted here, and the gap going to be 3 again, with only 6 minutes on the clock. Once more, this isn't a map that you can really slow down. It's similar to, well, Tahunga is even more prone to slowing it down, but this map is, yeah, you won't see the Portuguese change up their tactics much. Whoever's there at the top of tunnel took a lot of damage, and Dabidoo can't support Shans here, or it's actually Hippers, but Hipper stays alive and so will Dabidoo. So once more 2 the difference. Now let's hope that they can get a couple more in, because it's really exciting. And that's a good start here. Hippers with the SRA takes out Wicked, but Hippers will die to Riri. Riri, who has been really strong. I think that he would be my MVP of the of at least here on Austria, and that should never have been around for the Portuguese, in my opinion. We're also getting close to the territory time-wise that the Aussies will have to play super aggressive. A trade again, so 4 versus 4, but a favorable position here from the Portuguese to take top of tunnel. The Aussies did manage to escape though, and they will med up. Well, will they med up? No, Dabidoo bleeding there. He went back to get his Kevlar, and I guess he didn't focus on the amount of bleeding that he was still doing. Shans does get the kill, but 4 minutes, 4 rounds, it's possible. Give the Aussies your energy. If you're new here, by the way, don't forget to hit that follow button. Would be much appreciated, and we're going to keep you entertained with even more Nations Cup action tomorrow. Oh no, now it's coming apart. 5 rounds the difference. Well, we've seen comebacks before, so let's not count them out, but this will be something special. Dabidoo and Co are not reacting fast enough to... Come on, this is just ridiculous. They heard you pull the pit. This is really poor play. It was 4 versus 2. And still the Portuguese are in a better position to win this round. And especially with the time also an issue. Inepti should have pushed harder, and yeah, fair play to Snow. He's going to run away and waste time. Oh man, that makes me sick to my stomach, I should say. So the Australians' hopes were on a tin thread, but now that thread has well and truly been snipped. That means that we will have the Nations Cup final that we were all hoping for. Unfortunately, it will be in the semi-finals. Portugal versus France. Oh my god, the amount of FPS drops. Is that on OBS? No, it's not. So GTV being annoying again. I'm sure that we'll see the Australians back again next Nations Cup. They are one of the most consistent in showing up from the new nations. But yeah, a lot of people were hedging their bets on the Aussies here, and unfortunately, well, it's the favorites that will win. Howler here trying to clutch another round, but unfortunately, even, well, the Portuguese adding more insult to injury, expanding their lead. Yeah, this is just painful to watch. Oh, man. The Australians are really, usually the big underdogs, well, ever since they what do you call it? They captured my heart when they managed to reach the grand final versus France 5 years ago. Well, actually 4.5 years ago. But it seems 2020, or at least Nations Cup number 22, is not. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me, mates. Number 23, I should say. Nations Cup number 23 is not going to be their Nations Cup. Starting to talk a little bit like an Aussie. Oh, wow, wow, ADX. Oh my god. 3 kills there. Holy moly. Yeah, GG indeed. ADX not going to be able to string a 4th kill there, but what a way to end this round. Now let's see if Snow will make it 24-12. Obviously, that's a little bit of a... Nicely done. Little bit of an, well, in Dutch we say a geflatteerde uitspraak, but I won't finish that because obviously none of you are Dutch. Yeah, it would have been a lot closer if the Aussies didn't have to force themselves to get back in the game. Nevertheless, a good game, well played, Australia, but even better there from, even wetter, I wanted to say. Even better from the Portuguese. Let's have a look. These are your semi-finals. Belgium versus USA will be played tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So don't forget to tune in. By the way, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that follow button. If you have some spare cash hanging around, you're more than welcome to either visit our Patreon or become a subscriber here on Twitch. A lot of the money will be going to the winner of this Nations Cup, and some other money will be going to investing either in hardware or software. We're still looking into a new website. I still have to talk to somebody who's actually experienced in that sort of stuff, so that we can also get the Urban Zone website back into the 21st century. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. It was my pleasure to shoutcast for you guys. Hope to shoutcast for you again tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Don't know when France versus Portugal will be played, but I'm very much looking forward to that. That will consolidate the Nations Cup belt. Well, who knows? Belgium or USA in the grand final. It's been some time since either of those nations got to the final. One thing's for sure, we've got a lot to look forward to. That's it for me. Don't forget to hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, etc. and join us on our Discord. Thanks for watching and good afternoon. And yeah, that's it. Goodbye.